Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many quaint and query volumes of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, tap, tap, tapping, gently rapping, rapping on my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there.
What's up, losers?
Welcome to the cooler.
Welcome to the cooler kids.
Welcome to Drink the Kool-aid.
With the cooler kids.
Alright.
Today we're going to be talking about dead people we want to party with. I got a number one. Lowell's got a number one. Lowell's going to try something real nasty with me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to like it.
I'm not going to like it at all.
I'm going to like it a lot. You agreed to it, man.
I did. I regretted everything. I already regret everything.
Most people do when it comes to things they do with me.
They come to regret it eventually.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so let's just set the parameters for your game here. So they got to be dead, right?
Yeah.
Until they're not. That's the parameters of the game.
I think Elon Musk is working on making all these people undead.
Oh yeah, probably.
The rad people. You know? Like, why wouldn't you work on that if you had those kind of resources?
Do you remember in the 2000s there was I believe it was an MTV show called Clone High, where they cloned a bunch of famous people from history, but this was them in high school.
So, like real people?
Yeah.
Oh, so
like JFK and like Gandhi and like Genghis Khan and
that's like
Abe Lincoln and just, I mean, what else goes on?
Man, I would have brought like fake dead famous people
But
back.
they're all teenagers in high school, and it's like modern times.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, because they've been resurrected.
So, like, Jesus had a cell phone. And, like,
I think there was. I think that I can't remember. I can't remember if Jesus was in there, but
he get like super into it, and like he had a MySpace, and just.
Oh, they had a theme song that was super duper cool. It was the coolest.
Was it actually?
Yeah. I mean, like even like Adult Swim C Lab, kind of was like the C Lab. You remember the C Lab theme song?
No.
Like it's like I think they go like way back in the 1980s. Secret government employees dug up famous guys and ladies to make amusing genetic copies. Now the clones are sexy teens. Now they're gonna make it if they try. It's pretty rad. Yeah, I just did a rendition of Clone High on the podcast.
You remember? Do you remember? You know what TV show theme like sticks out in my mind a lot?
What? Knight Rider? Because that's me.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force, dude. I can never forget that intro for whatever reason.
Yeah, Schooly D, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dude, you remember that show had like a few rad seasons, and then like it went back to where it started, which was complete suck.
I loved it. I love every bit of it, and that's blasphemy. You need to leave my house. Carly's talking shit about Aqua Teen. Get the axe.
Oh man. You don't think it kind of went downhill like after?
So now we're gonna axe murder Rob on our podcast.
The movie and like 2 more seasons, and then it was kind of like done, dude.
Have Elon Musk resurrect that. You come back like Bruce Campbell, like Army of Darkness style.
That'd be rad, dude. Did you check that? Did you check that TV show out on Netflix?
Which one?
Army of Darkness, dude.
I didn't think it was on Netflix. It was on like. But yes, I did. It was on Stars.
Stars?
Yeah, but I did. Yes, I own it. It's sitting in my cabinet.
The TV series?
Yeah.
Yeah, so cool. Like,
I
really enjoyed it. I liked that it got weird, but it like lost traction. I was like, no, keep going.
Lucy Lawless, dog.
Dude.
Let's have a moment of silence and reflection for how awesome Lucy Lawless is.
I might change.
Okay, thank you.
I might change my first answer of the celebrities I party with to Lucy Lawless.
I forgot.
I'm not sure if she's still alive.
She is, and
well, that's good.
well, I forgot about our game.
Oh, so we're talking about
Let's do one each, and then we'll have some of your nasty homo piss.
Oh man, you wish it
with
would
the fancy name.
this.
With the fancy name.
I think maybe some people might know what that nasty thing is that we were talking about is now. I think they might know now.
All right, so do you want me to go first? Or do you want to go first?
Well, I feel like in this episode I'm a top, so I'll go first.
I'm just the power bottom.
All right. You didn't even lose a bet. You just agreed to it.
Whatever, nice.
My celebrity would be Chris Farley, man.
Yeah, I kind of figured there was one of two people.
Who was your other bet?
Sam Kinison.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I figured it was either Chris Farley or Sam Kinison.
Actually, Sam Kinison and Richard Pryor kind of tied in my mind, so I was like, I don't know who I would pick. Both of those guys are pretty rad.
So Chris Farley.
Farley.
Why do you want to party with Chris Farley?
He had no self-control. And he was... What you see is what you get, man. He's like all my favorite comics. It's like there's no act.
They should have buried him in a van down by the river.
Man, they should have. How do we know they didn't?
I would certainly hope.
I hope they did.
That's not like a slight against. He was just a really cool dude, and I would have wanted him to put him to rest in some very awesome fashion.
You also hate rivers and want them to be super polluted with vans. That's a thing.
With vans.
Yeah. Well, if you bury a river or a van next to a river, for sure, the fluids are gonna get into the soil and then it's gonna get sucked out to the river and it's gonna be gross.
So now let's ask.
But they still should have, because
what period of Chris Farley would you want to party with?
All of it, dude. From SNL to after he got fired and did those rad movies. I just feel like we didn't get enough Farley.
Would you hang out with him enough to help him change David Spade's diaper?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Joe Dirt, 2020.
I like those movies, too. But, dude, he was just he legitimately tried so hard in his life to change himself. That's something people don't know about Farley. Is that 4 days before he died, he was in a detox. He was in a detox center trying to get clean. He's been to.
Would you party with rehab Chris Farley?
I don't think we got to see that Chris Farley though, unfortunately.
But if you had the opportunity to, would you?
No, he probably sucks. Yeah.
I was going fishing, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so if gosh, I'm trying to think of some fun Chris Farley questions to ask you.
Fire away, man.
I just can't. I mean, this is the thing about Chris Farley. He was awesome, but
yeah,
he was very one note. You know what I mean? It was that extreme crazy note.
Man,
but that was good. That was his jam, and it worked. But that's why it's kind of hard to think of interesting questions involving Chris Farley when they pretty much covered him.
Oh, dude, I would ask where he got his drugs, where he hid his drugs, what drugs has he done. Probably a lot to ask about a sex life. One time...
How does that work?
Exactly. There's a lot of questions for a big fella like that. So, if you're big, send the questions in. I don't mean big. I mean if you have a huge gut, you need a forklift to move, tell us how that works. So anyway,
Oh, Jesus.
One time, somebody paid him $100 to poop out a window. That's pretty rad, and he did it. He didn't need the money. He just liked the idea of getting $100 for doing that. And he spent so much time with his butt hanging out the window, unable to poop. Because of nerves, or whatever. And like the people who he made the bet with, they were like, dude, just come in, it's fine, like we'll give you the money. And he was like, nope, I'm earning it. Pooped out a window, dude. He squeezed out the smallest poop. I probably butchered that story a little bit. But
after the last episode where you told me that L. Ron Hubbard was one of your
does this surprise you?
No.
Dude, a guy is like one of my heroes for pooping out a window.
Oh, jeez.
And he did Fat Guy in a Little Coat.
That was funny.
Best song ever, too. Hands down.
But I don't know about that.
None. Better than anything ever.
Best song ever.
Yeah, it's better than anything from Bach to Yngwie. Fat Guy in a Little Coat.
What?
Yeah.
Bach to Yngwie Malmsteen?
Yeah.
Wow, that is real. I think
nothing beats Fat Guy in a Little Coat.
Well, you didn't. I mean, Bach maybe, but you really didn't throw up any contenders.
No, any musicians in between those two musicians, like
what?
totally
Who's the worst?
lose.
Who's the best of worst? Or like is it like best to best?
No, they're the best to best, but in like time, right? Like so, Bach is earlier.
How is Yngwie one of the best? Like the best in time? I'm confused.
You don't think Yngwie is like the best guitar player alive right now?
No, absolutely not.
Who?
Oh God, there's
alive right now.
Dude, there's 6-year-olds that can outplay Yngwie on the YouTube.
Whoa, no.
Yeah, dude.
No way.
Yeah, there's like these little kids, and it's like I would say I'm pretty good guitar player. Yeah, and like these
you are.
These like 10-year-olds are just destroying me. It's regrettable.
Oh, that makes me want to quit guitar forever. Because you're so much better than me.
Well, my strength is experience and the extreme level experience. But
dude, people love it when you start playing guitar.
Yeah, I can grab a room. I'm pretty good at it. It's like you do it to eat. Don't be humble or nothing. You do it to eat. There's a change that happens. You know what I mean? Like it's a change.
Oh yeah. We talked about that when I was riding for Drilled.
Yeah.
Man. That was an awesome day.
Chris Farley, huh? Well, here, one guy.
He's tied with somebody else.
I think the person's. You're not gonna segue me over. I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Like the first person that came to mind, just as soon as you said it, was Hunter S. Thompson. Yeah, he's just interesting. He's unpredictable.
How big was his dick?
Dude. But yeah, that's who I want to party with since he just derailed me. I know. I mean, have you read... Handle your shit,
man. I'm sorry. I'm just so happy I got to throw you off course. That was so much fun for me.
Oh, God damn it. Were you going to help me pull it back on course or something, dude?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. You're saying you wanted to party with Hunter S. Thompson.
I do. Just have you read any Hunter S. Thompson? I'm sure you've seen the movies.
Remind me.
Like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
I've seen that movie.
Like Where the Buffalo Roam.
Oh, so like when I want to party with a druggy degenerate, it's a bad thing. Yeah,
but I want to party with a druggy degenerate that was known for brandishing firearms.
Oh, that is cool, huh?
And just being as unpredictable as humanly imaginable.
Oh, no.
And just being interesting, being on a different wavelength than everyone else. I was like, I'd be into that. Just anybody like that, I think would be cool. But Hunter S. Thompson was the top of my list for sure.
You got a point, man. Yeah. That would be an interesting cat to party with.
Yeah. It would be...
Definitely, yeah.
Well, last year, like the last podcast we did, we talked about like personal heroes, right? And I mentioned that Henry Rollins was one of mine. Yeah. Not a man I want to party with. I just don't think it'd be that much fun.
I think it would be, because he would probably be like, hey, You want to see the real Shanghai? And you'd be like, yes, I do. And it would be like a 4-week excursion. I would definitely party with
I wonder how
Rollins.
many people have done that with Rollins and not returned. Because he goes to some pretty sketchy
Ari
places.
Shaffir, dude, the guy who has the Skeptic Tank podcast that we talked about, I think, last podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know if you got to check it out. Super smart dude. Travels the world. Like, really took a note from Rollins.
I just don't know. He's so straight. I mean, that's what I like about him, but I just think in like a party scenario, you want someone that's a little bit more zany and a little bit more out there, you know?
Is it more zany and out there to do a lot of drugs and brandish weapons, or to assume that a party is like a 3-month backpacking hike across Malaysia? Like, you have to think about the concept that
There's a
runs
distinct difference between wanting to have a party and blow off some steam than have a life-changing, like, life-altering experience.
But what if Rollins is so extreme, like, mentally, that that's just a party to him? That's what it is. Like, it's the same idea, it's just like a longer form. Maybe his concept of time is different from most people, who knows?
Well, as prolific as he is, but that's the thing I like about, like, Hunter S. Thompson, too, is, like, not only was he this insane human being, right? He was very prolific in output. You know, like, as far as creative output. I mean, he was a correspondent. He traveled. He wrote, you know, very, like, you know, pointed. He actually had made points sometimes. Sometimes they were very, like, clouded and just silly, zany absurdism, but, like...
So maybe a party with that guy would be a 4-month backpack through Malaysia, but with LSD. You know?
Except for, and by Malaysia, you mean, you'd think you were in Malaysia, but you were probably just in, like...
You were
Sacramento.
Nevada.
You know, too.
You were in Nevada and you were like, it's hot. How long have we been here?
No, it's just like, you know, it's fun to go off the deep end sometimes, and I definitely have done it a few times.
I feel like if I did LSD ever, I'd go off the deep end and somebody would definitely mess with me, like my friend Lowell. That guy's a real ass. And he would probably mess with me, and if I was like, how long have we been doing this? I feel like Lowell would be like, oh, like 7 months, man. You haven't seen your kids.
They're fine. They're doing
get
fine.
older. Like, I just feel like my friend Lowell might do that if I ever tried LSD, so...
Oh, but... I mean, it's just like, and you've seen, like, you know, obviously it's been romanticized in the movies. There's been a few movies about him. The Rum Diaries, well, all his stuff has a tinge of what I suspect is autobiographical.
Dope.
You know, like, man, you never notice how, like, real life is more insane than any fictional thing you've ever seen sometimes?
Real life is rad.
But it's like, it's that unpredictable sometimes, and it's just some of the stuff you see that you couldn't make it up. It's just like, wow, I couldn't have made that up.
No, I mean, like,
his stories are kind of layered with stuff like that.
Yeah, I have a hard time kind of sitting through movies and like watching the whole thing. Like, I get really restless because I do find real life to be a lot more interesting. You know, like my jam is like going to the beach and having a bonfire. You know?
And then, yeah, dude, I love that stuff too, but I also like to get immersed in stuff. Like,
I just have a hard time, man.
Recently I've been watching the Monty Python, all the cool Monty Python documentaries that came out on Netflix recently.
Cool.
Yeah, it's very, very cool, and, you know, it's something I grew up with. I remember the first time my dad made me watch Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It practically broke me in half. Like, I was on the ground.
Like cracked ribs, freaking.
Yeah,
laughing.
like I was.
Dude.
It was so. I was like, I think it was my first ever exposure to very sarcastic, dry humor.
Oh,
like,
dude.
I grew up in the '80s. You never saw that sarcastic, dry humor, which also makes sense why I like somebody like Hunter S. Thompson, because it's very sarcastic and very dry. But man, Monty Python, the first time I watched that Holy Grail, I memorized the Sir Robin song instantaneously.
No
Like,
joke.
yeah,
I
like-
loved it that much.
I loved it that much.
Dude,
I can even do the accent and everything.
The first movie I laughed that hard on ever was Brokeback Mountain. That movie was so funny.
I mean, it was
Two dudes who look like they don't want to be doing that role. Like, just doing that role, man.
Well, gosh, it does, I mean, you know, you say what you will about the movie, but that's a bold role. That's bold, dude. I give him props for just the boldness of the move. Didn't like the movie. I did there for a while buy copies of it from my dad to try to teach him some tolerance. Actually, he's super tolerant,
Dude,
but he just didn't like that movie either.
But did the movie just... So the movie did nothing?
I just... It wasn't my jam.
Well, okay, like, here's the thing. Like, if I were to do that movie to, like, spread tolerance, I would make it two alien dudes, you know, or, like, an astronaut dude and an alien dude. And, like, have the movie be rad. Like, they fight dragons and stuff.
And they where just you go with this?
They love each other. Like, I like gay people.
Like space romance.
Like, I totally like gay people, but that movie sucked.
Interspecies romance.
Well, they're, like, similar looking, you know?
No,
or maybe not
I like
at
the
all.
dragons and stuff.
But they both have wieners.
Like some kind of variation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Who would we cast as, like, the man?
Oh, we're doing the casting
Who
now.
would we cast as the man? Like, dude,
Casper Vanderbeek. No, Casper Van.
Chuck Norris, bro.
No.
Chuck Norris.
Casper Van.
Chuck Norris in space. Dude, crossing swords with an alien. Awesome.
What's the guy from Starship Troopers? Casper Van.
I don't know.
Guy, the Starship Troopers guy, because I'm sure he needs work. I've seen some of his latest offerings.
Dude, maybe I'll change my answer to Gary Coleman, and then we could cast him.
He probably needs work too.
Movie. He's dead.
Oh.
So he definitely needs work.
I stand by the casting decision still.
Over Gary Coleman? I'll change my answer from Chris Farley to Gary Coleman. I would have changed it to Jeremy Hendricks, but
I don't know much about Gary Coleman's life, like outside of like the shows that he did.
He was a security guard. That's what he's most famous for now. Being a security guard and getting in a fight with a lady twice his size.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. I think he lost both the fight and in court, and then he died.
Fair enough.
Sucks.
That's a little too real life for me.
Sorry.
Oh, it's cool.
It was too real life for Gary Coleman, too.
Gosh. Man, it's just... Like, if I was gonna, like, hang out, it's just, like, that was my first answer, though. That was, like, clear cut. No, there was no...
Dang.
There was no, like, question about it. It was just instant. Like, as soon as you mentioned it, it was like, that's the guy. So I didn't have to think about this podcast that much.
Dude, that is a rad answer.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. It's some sort of, you know, whatever. How did he put it? One of God's rare prototypes. Too strange to live, too rare to die.
Rad saying, man. Dude, good pick. I dig it.
Oh, dude, and then like, not only, like, Johnny Depp revered him so much that he honored his final wishes by shooting him out of an 80-foot cannon into space. I mean, like, dude, yeah, dude,
yes!
he did it. I guess Johnny Depp built it and paid for it and, like, shot him into space.
Oh, man, that is awesome. Dude.
That's some buddies. That's a buddy right there. Because I'm sure that wasn't cheap. I'm sure that was...
I want to recast the person alien guy. Okay, just the person, not the person alien, just the person. As Johnny Depp, alright? He's gonna be... What would we call him? His character would be named Ted, maybe. So we're gonna cast Johnny Depp and his lover as... You think Rosie O'Donnell would take that part as the alien guy?
Yeah, I do actually.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree. I'm in agreement.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Oh, we actually there's a lady,
That might be cool, too.
Tuka Lu. She's someone that's always up on our. She's really cool. She's cool, but like she's like always commenting on our anything we put out. So.
Oh, right on.
But she like when we did our favorite movies podcast, she posted up some interesting questions that I managed to I answered them. But
What were they? What were the questions?
one was like if they remade They Live Now, who would be Roddy Piper's character?
What'd you say?
She said Ronda Rousey, and I was just like,
Oh, neat.
that's perfect, actually.
Yeah.
She even kind of looks like Roddy Piper, you know what I mean?
Dude,
too?
yeah.
But
Well,
I can see that working.
She took the name, too. Like, she got permission from Rodney Piper.
Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah. It was like Rowdy Ronda Rousey for a while or something.
Dang.
But yeah, she got permission from him.
Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
That's another dude right there.
And wasn't that dude from Portland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
I would party with Roddy Piper.
Roddy Piper. I'm saying Rowdy.
Yeah, Roddy Piper.
Oh. Shoot, man.
Brother!
I thought that was Hulk Hogan that said brother, wasn't it?
Macho Man Randy Savage did too sometimes. I brought his cups.
Alright, cool.
These are the only kind of cups we have in my house.
So, are we moving on to this nasty thing?
We are.